We spend about 1/3 of our lives in bed. That's around 33 years. But only 26 of them will be taken up by precious beauty sleep. The other 7 are spent on just trying to get to sleep. That's not surprising, considering nearly half of all people have sleeping problems. If you struggle to catch some rest at night, the only thing that will probably save you in the morning is a cup of hot coffee. The average person drinks around 3 cups of coffee a day, which means 86,000 cups over their lifetime. That's enough to fill 125 bathtubs. We also spend about 24 minutes a day making, serving, and drinking coffee at work. Now, if you remember to clean your teeth every morning for 2 to 3 minutes, then you can expect to spend 2 months of your life taking care of your teeth overall, or 4 months if you brush twice a day. On average, people spend around 8 minutes a day in the shower. That can add up to about 6 months over their lifetime. If you could collect all the water that you used, it would be enough to water 98 football fields. We also spend about 13 years at work. That's around 4,800 days. That's why it's so important to find something you love doing. Those 13 years include around 4 years spent making phone calls. I don't even want to know how much time we waste on work emails. The average employee also sits in meetings at the office for about 2 years. I hope you take notes because our brains keep only a hold of about 5% of the information they receive. But even getting to the office takes up a lot of your time. People spend about 2.5 years driving around in their cars. Well, not always driving. That figure includes 4 months of waiting in traffic, and probably much more if you live in a big city. Still, over their lifetime, the average driver will cover a distance equal to traveling to the moon and back, and then back to the moon again. What'd you do, forget something? For those of us who prefer walking to driving, you better warm up your legs. You're about to cover about 70,000 miles on foot while you're here. That's 5 years of your life, and it's enough to walk around the world 9 times. Now, it may seem like your school years lasted forever, but you actually study there for less than 1 year of your life, only 334 days to be precise. That doesn't include homework, of course. Boys study for around 3.5 hours a day, and girls for only 2.5. But if that sounds like too little, there's always daily educational activities you can do even after you leave school. For most of us, we spend around 28 minutes per day learning new stuff, which is about 500 days over your lifetime. With all that work, we need to relax, and we sure put in the time here as well. People typically spend more than 4,000 days, or 11 years and 4 months, looking at screens. For 8 of those years, that'll be a TV screen. You'll watch about 93,000 TV show episodes and more than 4,000 seasons, and about half of these years are spent watching commercials. The other 3 years of screen time are taken up by our smartphones. That's no surprise, since they're our main source of communication. 1 in 3 teenagers sends more than 100 texts a day. Even when we're not texting, many of us check our phones every 6.5 minutes. That means around 150 times in a single day and 50,000 times per year. And then we have video games. There are more than 164 million gamers in the USA, and 3/4 of all Americans have at least one gamer in their family. Most gamers can spend at least 6 hours playing games a week. That's around 3 entire years of their lives. Between all that stuff, you need to get some food. Lots of people regularly eat 5 meals a day. All that time devoted to munching on your favorite snacks means about 6 years of your life. After you've done with eating, unfortunately, it's time to clean the dishes. Be ready to spend 4 years of your life doing housework. That includes more than a year spent on the really boring stuff like vacuuming, and nearly 2 years on cooking. You're not the only one working hard in your apartment, though. During your lifetime, your poor old washing machine will spend more than 3 years trying to keep your clothes clean. Perhaps you don't want to waste all that time on cleaning, but there's a downside here. Having lots of mess around means you'll probably spend nearly an entire year of your life just looking for your keys or glasses. Men spend 46 days of their life getting ready in front of the mirror, but women spend around 3 times more, 136 days. So, next time you're late to a party because the other person's still getting ready, just remember that it's a time-consuming process for all of us. If you like to keep your body in shape, be prepared to give up a year and 4 months entirely to exercising. That's right, it turns out we spend twice as much time looking at perfect bodies on Instagram than we do working on our own. Maybe you want something more exciting to do, so you decide to go to the movie theater. But to get your ticket, you need to stand in a line. You spend roughly 5 years waiting in lines throughout your life. All that waiting doesn't put us off, though. We spend 2.25 years watching movies at the cinema. It's no wonder that you sometimes end up seeing a very boring movie. But the thing is, while you might get your money back, you can never get your time refunded. Wouldn't it be great, though, if time stopped when you go to the bathroom? That way you wouldn't miss all the good parts of the movie. Plus, doing what you have to do there takes up a lot of your valuable time as well. We spend a year and a half in the bathroom in total. For those of you who love nature, I have a bit of bad news. We spend more than 90% of our lives indoors. But I guess this could be good news for anyone who likes their home comforts. An outside picnic wouldn't be the same without that special someone to share it with. But the truth is, while true love may last a lifetime, we only spend about a year of our lives doing romantic things. That's right, we devote more time to eating and smartphones than we do to all those wonderful things, like buying flowers, going for dinner, choosing the perfect gift, and holding hands at the movie theater. But at least that includes more than 2 weeks of kissing. I guess you can count that as a workout to add to your exercise time. Remember, you use over 100 muscles when you kiss. Sometimes dating can grow into something bigger, and suddenly you find yourself with your significant other in a cozy home and with a couple of kids running around. That's a lot of your time gone right there, though. Parents with a child under the age of 6 spend around 2 hours a day tending to them. Then when the kids are aged 6 to 12, their parents devote about an hour to looking after them each day. This all adds up to 9 solid months of caring for a child from the time they're born up to age 12. Besides all that caring and playing, parents read to their kids for around 28 minutes a day and play with them for 43 minutes. That's about 6 months of undivided attention overall. Well done, Mom and Dad! For those of you who love animals, be prepared to find a pretty big chunk of free time for them as well. It usually takes around 45 minutes a day to walk, feed, and play a little with your pet. But since animals live shorter lives than us, let's count how much of their time is taken up by this. If a dog lives for 10 years on average, then it will spend more than 100 full days receiving your care. It deserves nothing less, of course. Apart from romance, we all need the support of our friends and family. That's why we spend another year of our lives on socializing. That's still 12 times less than what we devote to work, though. And if you have a great bunch of friends, get ready for laughter. This takes up 115 days of our lives. Well, time to go back to bed. During the night, we'll each have around 5 dreams, which means 1,800 a year and as many as 150,000 dreams over our lifetimes. There's just one problem. We forget most of them. Nighty-night.